Morning Show. Hey, this is Paulina Combow with the Indie Bohemians Morning Show, and I'm talking to Kirill Gerstein, who's an accomplished pianist from Europe, and he's going to be playing with the Nashville Symphony at the Schermerhorn this weekend. Hi, Kirill. So
you were born in Russia, and you won your first piano competition at age 11. So when did you actually start playing piano?
Well, I think I was about 3. I mean, I started studying music or having music lessons with my mother, and for as long as I can remember and before. And so music emerges from the the shadows of my memory, and then it's always been something that's part of my life.
Just always music in the house?
Well, music in the house, music with my mother, and then, of course, then studying also in school, etc.
Oh, yeah. So your family was very musical? Did they play or sing?
Well, my mother is a professional musician, and she actually specializes in working with young children. So in some way, I guess I was a guinea pig for her ideas on music education. And my father is he's an avid listener, but he doesn't make music.
Oh, that sounds really cool. So what was it like growing up for you? If you were already winning competitions at age 11, traveling around Europe and Asia, I guess, what kind of childhood did you have?
I perceived it as a normal one. Maybe somebody will say it isn't a normal one, but who knows what normal is. But for me, it was so. At least I didn't have also until I was about 10. I was studying music and of course playing the piano, but I didn't have this childhood of a sort of tortured wunderkind. I didn't have to practice scales and exercises for 6 hours a day. So I enjoyed music. I studied. I read a lot, and so it's in my recollection it was a positive one. And then so from the age of 10, when specifically the piano playing started getting more and more serious, then I spent more and more time with it. But then from about 10 was really of my own volition and desire. So in that sense, it was also not an unhappy experience, therefore.
Very cool, yeah. And so you'd mentioned the wunderkind. Were you ever considered a prodigy, or were you ever told you were a prodigy or anything like that?
I think, sometimes this is said, but that's by other people. But I wasn't, luckily, wasn't busying myself with it. So
you weren't like, I'm a prodigy, yeah.
Luckily not at all. So in that sense, it was unburdened mostly by these loud words and assessments.
Exactly. So let's see. So you're going to be here in Nashville February 5th through 7th at the Schermerhorn. Is this your first time performing in Nashville?
No, I've been a couple of years ago for the first time with the Nashville Symphony as well in the wonderful hall, and it was a very positive experience. I really enjoyed it, so I'm very much looking forward to coming back.
Oh, good. So what do you like about Nashville? Did you get to get out and about at all?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of music in some of the clubs, which was very enjoyable, and I thought it was terrific. Had some authentic food.
Oh yeah.
Which wasn't exactly dietetic, but was very tasty. And I found the concert hall outstanding, and the music making with the symphony a very positive experience. So in fact, just, as I said, really positive recollections from that first meeting, and I'm looking forward to our next one next week.
Very, very exciting. Yeah, so you're excited. I'll be at your show. I can't wait to
Great.
see it. And then, so do you remember any bands or anything that you saw? I'm trying to ask you if there's a particular type of music that you like outside of what you play and listen to.
Yeah, I don't remember what specifically who I got to hear on my visit last time. But as far as the music that I listen to or that I like, aside from what I play, well, because of my background and earlier interests, jazz is something that always is on the listening agenda, in addition to classical, of course. And then as far as other styles go, rather eclectic purposefully. So I like country, I like some hip hop and rap music, and I like the Pink Martini. Basically rather specific examples rather than styles. There are things that I think I'll hear something on the radio or on the internet and think, oh, that's, I really enjoy that, or I think that's excellent, but less so about subscribing to a certain style and more just hearing something good from whatever style and enjoying that.
Oh, yeah. Well, so you keep up with some of the current stuff. Would you ever consider teaming up with any of the popular, artists today if they asked you to be on an album or a concert?
I would. I think this is it interests me very much in this cross boundary or exploration of other territories stylistically is something that interests me, and collaborating with other people interests me. I think the important thing and the challenging thing, and the one that I think everybody tries at and comes up with various solutions, is exactly how and what these collaborations can be, and that's always the big challenge, for this to really also be a fusion of something and not just a traffic accident where two styles collide. But generally, it's something that interests me, and I've done some collaborations with jazz artists, with Gary Burton, with Brad Meldau, and I've done some performances and more scheduled in the future with Storm Large, one of the singers from Pink Martini. So I do enjoy that, and that interests me. But as I say, I think the difficulty is exactly how these kind of collaborations are done.
Oh, right, yeah. So there's no Taylor Swift collaboration in your near future, you think? She's kind of our town sweetheart.
I know, and I think she's great, and I know that she's supported the symphony in a significant and public way, and that she's been so outspoken about streaming on Spotify, I think is great. So, she's certainly a fascinating and great figure, but I haven't met her yet. So maybe.
Oh, well, maybe you will. Maybe you will next week.
I hope.
Yeah. Okay, so I was looking around at your schedule, and you're quite the traveler. So right after you leave Nashville, you're going to Switzerland, and then you kind of go around Europe, come back to America, back over to Europe. So, I mean, you spend a lot of time on a plane?
Mostly. I mostly travel and switch locations every several days. So yeah, it's a life that involves a lot of traveling, a lot of airplanes, and a lot of changing scenery. Yeah,
a lot of jet lag too. What kinds of stuff do you like to do when you're just on these 7-8 hour plane rides back and forth?
Oh, that's great, because it's like vacation. There's no phone, no email, so I'll watch a movie and sleep, or just sleep. So I like these. Basically, I don't mind the plane rides for the most part. So I'm a relatively good constitution for doing what I do, because I don't suffer from jet lag too much. Can sleep at any time, anywhere. I can sleep because I'm usually tired, and so the airplane is good. I can sleep for a while.
So you can just curl up right there and take a nap and not be affected by anything going on around you.
I try not to, and basically I mostly manage. So.
That sounds really fun. Do you have any guilty pleasures or things that you like to indulge in, whether you're traveling or whatever it might be?
Well, I have pleasures, but I don't feel guilty about them.
That's great. That's a perfect answer. Anything you care to share, like a certain junk food or TV show?
No, good food actually. I like to seek out good food, but I don't feel guilty about it. And you know, and good food can be very, very high end, but it can be something very simple as long as it's made with love and with some care. I enjoy that, and I always try to seek out good coffee wherever I go, which is becoming easier and easier in the world, and I enjoy good wine. So, you know, I try to enjoy myself, because what's the point of trying not to enjoy yourself?
I like the way you think. So of all the places you've been, do you have a favorite place to perform?
No, that really varies. I mean, there's so many nice and different places, and I'm not just being polite, but you know, you can be in a great hall with immense history and tradition, like, you know, the Musikverein in Vienna, and that's amazing. And you can be in a great new hall, like this week I'm with the Philadelphia Orchestra, and we're in a new home at the Combow Center, and that's a very different kind of excellent venue to play in, and the audiences are different in so many places, but it's like meeting different friends. You don't have to pick a favorite, but
so it's hard to pick a favorite, yeah.
No, I don't think it's even necessary, and it's impossible. I think many of these places are impossible to compare to each other, so therefore one can't really pick a favorite because they're so dissimilar. But that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, just find the things that you like about each place.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Salzburg, Austria?
Yes, I've been to Salzburg a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Most recently, I was on tour there with the Symphony Orchestra from Cologne and with excellent American conductor James Gaffigan. So we had two concerts in Salzburg in the second week of January.
So I thought that was one of the most interesting places I've ever been, because it's the home of Mozart, and everything there, the tourism, is all based around Mozart.
Oh yeah, they weren't very nice to him when he was alive, but since then they've made a good business out of him.
Yeah, they're making some money now. I just couldn't believe the tourism there. I don't know if other cities are like that. Maybe that's the only city I've ever been where a famous composer was born, but
I think it's quite special. Yeah. No, it is quite special in Salzburg, but it's a very charming old city. So absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorite places, just because it was so weird compared to some of the bigger cities in Europe, but it was wonderful. So is there anything that you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask you?
No, I think you covered a lot of ground.
Well, I'm excited for you to come to Nashville and to see your show. So this is Kirill Gerstein. He's going to be at the Schermerhorn playing with the Nashville Symphony February 5th through 7th. You can go on their website and get some tickets. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.